Hey, let's try something a little different today. I want you to think of this as an open letter, a letter for anyone out there who's ever looked in the mirror and just struggled with what they see, for anyone who's felt like they just weren't enough. Yeah, this one's for you. It's for anyone who knows that sting of disappointment when you see your own reflection, for anyone who's ever been shamed or made to feel small because of how they look. And it's especially for anyone who gets stuck in that loop of comparing their real, messy, beautiful life to the perfect highlight reels they see online. So, where does this feeling even come from? Well, for a lot of us, it starts the moment we wake up. We grab our phones, we start to scroll, and we're immediately hit with social media's carefully constructed perfect lie. And this is where the wires get crossed, right? We're constantly, whether we realize it or not, comparing our entire reality, the full picture, the unfiltered moments, the good and the bad, to somebody else's greatest hits. We see their best moments, their perfect angles, their filtered, staged photos, and we measure our authentic selves against that illusion. And let's be real for a second about what actually goes into making that perfect image. That flawless skin? Come on, it's probably a mix of professional makeup and a dozen editing apps. That perfect body? It could be a trick of the light or the result of a personal trainer, expensive treatments, you name it. It's a production. It's not everyday reality. But here's the thing that gets me. Most of us kind of know this, right? Logically, we get it. It's not all real. So why on earth does it still have the power to make us feel so bad about ourselves? Well, the answer, and this is pretty wild, is actually found in our biology. This isn't some personal failing. It's a feature, not a bug, of how our brains are wired. It's this thing called the negativity bias. See, for our ancestors, this was a superpower. It was a survival instinct that made them hyper-aware of any potential danger out there. But in our modern world, that same wiring is kind of backfiring. It makes our brains automatically scan for and zero in on what we see as our own flaws. And you can almost feel it happen in real time when you're scrolling. First, you see that perfect photo. Then, instantly, your brain's old survival software kicks in and it starts scanning for what you supposedly lack. Their life looks so easy. Why is mine so hard? They look so happy. What's wrong with me? And just like that, boom, your insecurities are magnified and reality gets pushed aside. And here's the tough part. This completely natural biological vulnerability, well, it's become a target. Entire industries, advertisers, beauty brands, social media itself, are basically built to capitalize on that feeling of not being enough. They turn our perceived flaws into problems, and then, what a coincidence, they sell us the solution. And this leads us to this huge, kind of heartbreaking paradox. The massive double standard between how we see the people we love and how we see ourselves. I mean, think about it. The people you truly love in your life, your friends, your family, what do you value in them? It's their strength, their kindness, their sense of humor, right? We love them for who they are on the inside. But when we turn that lens on ourselves, whoa, the rules totally change. We judge ourselves by the most superficial things possible. Our looks, our weight, all these perceived external flaws. And that's the tragedy of it, right, isn't it? We give so much grace to others, but we are absolutely brutal with ourselves. We're supposed to be our own best friend, but instead, so often, we end up becoming our own biggest critic. And this isn't just a fleeting feeling. It has a real physical effect on us. Every single critical thought, every harsh judgment, it strengthens the neural pathways for self-criticism in our brain. It literally rewires us to believe we aren't worthy, and it traps us in this cycle of self-doubt that feels impossible to get out of. So how do we fight back? How do we break the cycle? It all starts by fundamentally changing the metric, by shifting how we measure our own value. So let's just get this straight right here, right now. Your worth, your fundamental value as a human being, cannot be defined by any of this stuff. Not by a face cream, not by a filter, not by an ad, and definitely not by a brand. Your true worth is already inside you. It's your kindness, it's your intelligence. It's that quirky sense of humor that makes your friends laugh. It's the resilience that's gotten you through everything you faced. It is everything that makes you, you. You know, maybe we should think about it this way. The world isn't crying out for more perfect bodies. What it desperately needs is more real people. People who are confident enough to own their imperfections and just embrace who they are. It is time to stop the comparing and start appreciating. It's time to realize that at the end of the day, there is only one person whose approval truly, truly matters, and that person is you. So, if you take one thing away from this open letter, please let it be this simple, powerful truth. You are enough. Not when you lose 10 pounds, not when your skin clears up, not when you can finally afford that thing. No, right now, today, just as you are enough.